Hey guys, I'm continuing my KonMari decluttering journey, and this time I'm clearing out food. So I'm reorganizing my pantry, and I have really deep pantry cupboards which can be quite hard to keep tidy and hard to organize also, so that things are really accessible. So I'm really looking forward to showing you how I managed to reorganize it so it's much more functional and easy to use.
So the first thing you want to do is clear everything out of the cupboards. So you really need a good amount of either bench or table space, or even floor space if that's what you've got, just so you can put everything in one place and start sorting through it. I tried to group like products together, so my rices together, my pastas together, baking products together, and then I went through and checked all the expiry dates, and I threw out anything that was past its use by or expiry date. Now I found we had a lot of double up, so I found a couple of packs of the same macaroni, both opened packets, and I found a really good supply of tea throughout the cupboard, so I don't think we'll be needing to buy tea anytime soon. Now I know this isn't a fridge clean out, but because I was clearing the food out of my cupboard, and I deliberately did this the day before our rubbish was due to be picked up, so I thought I'd just go through the fridge as well and get rid of any expired goods, and then it could all go in the bin and get taken away the next day. And then of course once I'd cleaned everything, I organised and put everything back in the cupboard. So here's the finished result, and I simply could not wait to start using the new reorganised pantry. Everything was just obvious in terms of what I had. I could see everything clearly, it looked easy to use, and I'll show you a few more close-ups. On the very top shelf I keep really large Tupperware containers and my cookbooks. These are things I don't use every day, and I do have to get on a stool to reach the shelf, so I'm not going to be wanting to access these items every day. On this next shelf, it's still a little bit high, so I've got a lot of my husband's things on here because he's a lot taller than me, and refills and things that I've bought to stock up when other things are running low, so things like tea and paper towels and things like that. On this next shelf, I've maximised the space here by using these wire racks to keep the canned goods on, so they're raised above everything else so I can easily see and access what I have. And then I've got baskets, and what I've done is at the front I've got baby food pouches, and behind those are items I don't use that frequently. So I've got bags of rice that I've bought to refill my rice container when the rice gets low, and then I've got my baking goods, so baking powder, baking soda, that kind of thing. And then on the right, this basket extends all the way to the back of the cupboard, and I keep my pasta in here, so it fits nicely under that shelf, but then I can easily pull it out and access whatever I need. The next shelf is set out in a similar way, so I've got my rice on the right here on a wire rack so I can easily access it, and underneath I've got a basket that extends all the way to the back to the length of the cupboard, and that has a lot of new ingredients we're using, so it's got chia seeds and quinoa. And then in the middle I've got some spreads in a little basket, and behind that I've got vinegars and oils that I don't use very often. But my absolute favourite thing about this pantry are these new Lazy Susans that I made, and I got the idea off Alejandra Costello, who's a professional organiser in America. I'll put a link below, and it's just made out of 2 cake tins with marbles in between the cake tins, and I managed to get all the supplies from the reject shop, so for the total cost of $11 I got 2 homemade Lazy Susans that are just absolutely wonderful. On the bottom shelves I've followed the same principle by putting the stuff that I use frequently at the front, and putting things like refills of stuff and things that I don't use that often at the back. So at the front I've got cereals and snacks that my son can easily access, and I've also got this great tub down the bottom. It's actually got wheels on it, but you don't actually need wheels, it just came like that. And of course you can get these sorts of tubs at the reject shop or Bunnings, or a lot of discount variety stores have them as well. And I just measured up the space of my cupboard, and this one fits all the way to the back of my cupboard, and I keep crackers and a lot of the bulky stuff in that basket, and it's just a really easy way to access all of that stuff.
So guys, I hope you found these tips helpful. If you've enjoyed watching, please click the thumbs up button and remember to share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!